Rebecca flings her head in my direction. I'm sure she got whiplash. Story time. So some time ago, I was at work. I had my patient assignment, and every other nurse had their own patient assignment. A patient did call out. I was tied up. In fact, I wasn't anywhere near the patient when they called out. And by called out, I mean hit the call light. This particular patient's nurse, we're going to call her Rebecca. Okay? Rebecca comes and finds me while I'm in a patient's room. Okay? She just stuck her head in and said, Ashley, when you're done, can you go to room 27 and figure out what my patient wants, please? But you know what? I just assumed that buddy old Rebecca was swamped and that she just went in search of the closest nurse to help her. So when I was done with my task, my patient, I went over to room 27 and I asked the patient in there, I said, what did you need, honey? She said, just a cup of ice. I brought her the ice. I went to the nurse's station and I set myself up to document. I sat right next to Rebecca, who didn't seem swamped at all. I said, what was going on with you earlier? Are you okay? Is everything all right? And she was like, yeah, I just figured it would be easier for me to ask someone who speaks the same language as her to figure out what was going on. I said, Rebecca, honey, she speaks English. Rebecca flings her head in my direction. I'm sure she got whiplash. She was like, Ashley, there's no way. There's no way. I said, listen, baby girl, if you wanted to tell me that her accent was thick and that you were having a hard time understanding her, that's fine. But I'm just letting you know, she spoke to me in English. Rebecca's educated response was, well, you guys are both from the same place, right? I recognized the patient's accent as a Nigerian accent, right? Now, it is not at all offensive to be mistaken for a Nigerian woman. But the fact of the matter is, I am not Nigerian. My heritage is Caribbean. And I explained that. She said, well, I mean, it's the same thing, right? Like, isn't the Caribbean in Africa? I said, Rebecca, I feel like your confidence lacks just a smidgen of knowledge. She says, well, you clearly know more than I do. Why don't you just take the patient? I said, sure, I can take the patient and you can take one of my patients, but nothing's going to change. I'm still not going to be Nigerian and you're still not going to be smart.